President Bola Tinubu forwards 3 non-career ambassadorial nominees to Senate for approval. Senate dissolves standing committees on Air Force, national security, and intelligence amid spate of insecurity. Atiku Abubakar faults federal government's handling of abductors. On the firing scene, group of military officers seize control of Guinea-Bissau amid reports of residents' arrest. Good evening. This is news at 7 on Western Spring Television. I am Temitope Ajijolaoluwaola. President Bola Tinubu has forwarded 3 non-career ambassadorial nominees to the Senate. The ambassadors designate are Kayode Are, representing Ogun State, Aminu Dalhatu from Jigawa State, and Ayodele Oke from Oyo State. The letter was read during plenary by Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President. The Senate President therefore directed the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs to review the nominations and report back to the chamber within 1 week. And now to security. The Senate had a heated debate on Nigeria's worsening security situation, following a motion by Lola Asher from Kwara South on the urgent need to address escalating insecurity in Kwara, Kebbi, and Niger states, and calls for immediate and comprehensive federal intervention. The motion highlighted recent attacks, including the abduction of school children in Kebbi, and concerns about military withdrawals and compromised operations. The Deputy Senate President, Bola Jibrin, said that security challenges confronting the nation are surmountable but require international support. Senate leader Okpeyemi Bamidele, in his argument, describes the current wave of insecurity as a turning point and must not be business as usual. Bamidele warns that the nation risks losing it unless decisive action is taken. While he welcomes the safe rescue of abducted captives, the lawmaker expressed concern that no word on the terrorists neutralized in the process. An opposition lawmaker, Senator Eyinaya Baribe, however, criticized efforts to blame past administrations, insisting that the current government must take responsibility for today's failures. Meanwhile, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio highlighted reports that the location of a brigadier general killed in Borno was compromised, raising fears of internal sabotage.
Notes with grave concern that the attack compels school closures in 5 local government areas in Kwara State: Ekiti, Isin, Irekodun, Ifelodun, and Okero, all in Kwara South, across the entire Niger and Kebbi State, and in all the 47 federal unity schools nationwide, thereby disrupting the education of thousands of children and exposing the death of national trauma and fear. Alarmed that this incident formed part of worsening national pattern, including the recent kidnapping of school children in Kebbi and Niger State, demonstrating the acute vulnerability of schools and worship centers across Nigeria to terrorist and bandit attacks. Further concern that credible reports indicate military personnel were withdrawn from affected Kebbi school just hours before the bandit struck, raising grave questions and transparent and urgent investigation. Next, the Senate therefore resolved to 1. Call on communities in Niger and across Nigeria to remain united, vigilant, and supportive of security efforts while resisting internal collaborators who undermine national security.
What we need is to look inwards, try to deal with it is surmountable, and we shall surmount the problem by the collective zeal of the Nigerian people. How do we do this? bring in the efforts of everyone. The issue of security is for all. I mean, it's something that is for all of us. Reside on the shoulders of the federal government alone, nor the state governments, nor the local governments. I mean, everybody has together. We need to come together by way of making sure that now, as we speak, the state governments are having a wonderful time making more money, right? Also the local governments. So we need to come together, harness what is necessary, what is important for us to achieve our aim of eliminating this issue of insecurity.
Is that a lot of people kidnapped, at least from Kwara through Kebbi to Niger, a lot of them have regained their freedom. At what cost is what a lot of Nigerians are wondering. Some Nigerians have government negotiated to get them out. Those are facts that only the people in charge of our security can be able to confirm. But one thing that we have also witnessed and recognized as an official position of government is that government has not been paying ransom. What is good news about this, that no one can run away from, is the fact that these people regain their freedom without a life.
And while the Senate has dissolved its standing committees on Air Force, national security, and intelligence with immediate effect, it also said that new committees would be reconstituted within 1 week. The decision came after the Senate leader, Senator Okweyemi Bamidele, expressed dissatisfaction with the committee's oversight performance so far. Its further directed chairman of its standing committees on Army, Navy, Defense, Interior, and Police Affairs to brief the Senate within 1 week during the closed-door session on their ongoing efforts to reduce insecurity across the country and to justify their continued existence. The upper chamber also began a probe into the withdrawal of security troops from the Kebbi school prior to the bandits' attack and directed the findings be submitted within 2 weeks. It mandated its committees on Army, Defense, Police Affairs, Interior, tracks the probe and reports back to the chamber. The Senate also probed the circumstances surrounding the killing of Brigadier General Uba, with a report expected within the same time frame. A former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Idris Wase, on Wednesday said bandits were threatening to abduct members of the National Assembly. Idris stated this during the resumption of debate on national security in the lower chamber, calling on President Bola Tinubu to review his directive on the withdrawal of police operatives attached to very important personalities, VIPs. Tinubu had on Sunday ordered the withdrawal of police officers at a security meeting in Abuja, attended by service chiefs and the Director General of the Department of State Services. The President directed the police authorities to deploy them to concentrate on their core police duties, a situation that mandated the Special Protection Unit of the Nigeria Police Force to order all officers attached to VIPs and bids nationwide to return to their bases. Under the new arrangement, Tinubu said VIPs requiring security protection will now need to request armed personnel from the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC). Rather than relying on police officers, the presidency explains that the move aims to boost police presence in communities, especially in remote areas where police stations are often understaffed and citizens remain vulnerable to attacks. But Wase wants the commander-in-chief to spell out the categorization of VIPs, saying there was a time when Boko Haram terrorists were found on the list of recruits in the army and police force.
You have recruitment of police officers more than 1 million. Or 5 million, sorry, 5 million. Here in Nigeria, you go to communities, you would traverse more than 30, 40 kilometers. You cannot get even a police station for an issue. This one has to be done immediately if we mean to solve this problem. And I was thinking about, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the effort, Mr. President. I appreciate his concern. This is what the people are saying. Withdraw VIPs. It's not about the VIPs. When you give criminals police to guard them, this is where I thought we should have this. The withdrawal that order that has been given, I think, if we are not careful, there will be more now, because I watched a film of a video of one of the kidnappers or bandits posting that they are going to get the head of the Mr. President, they are going after politicians, and they are going after, and these people are all repentant. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues, I want to say that without missing words, that those of us who are not here and they're not central, the heat is more than what you can think of. There is no politician or person of public office that has integrity, that is not contributing. It's not about the money getting from state and local. No, including our pockets. We have to support the system so that we will have peace in our society. But the peace is not yet gotten. And it's far from it. So I want to appeal that order, there's need to review that order. It's a good order, but the categorization has to be spelled out. Because before you know it, this house will again come back faced with the same problem of kidnapping and whatever you have it. I don't think there's anybody that will say, I can travel with my eyes open between here and Jos. Once it is 6 p.m. to get to Kefi, I am scared because I know what is happening. Kidnapping happens virtually every day. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues. In 1 year alone, bandits collect ransom of about 5 billion naira. This is fantastic. 5 billion. And in 1 year alone, 30 facilities were recorded in terms of death, killing within our own society. In 1 year alone, sir, in 1 year alone, or within the Boko Haram threshold, what we lost is more than 30,000 people that are killed on the process of this banditry and whatever. The Speaker, respect colleagues, the issue before us is more than what possibly we are looking. The gravity of it is so endemic that I think and I pray that at the end of this, it will not be one of these rituals that will come, speak, document, and nothing will take place. My prayer.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has faulted the federal government's handling of abductors and believes President Bola Tinubu's administration has treated the kidnappers with kid gloves. Atiku said this in a statement by spokesman Paul Ibe, hours after the presidency announced the release of schoolgirls abducted in Kebbi State last Monday. Presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga has said the girls and another batch of students freed in Niger State and about 38 worshippers from Kwara were released without payment of ransom. However, Ibe, in the statement released on Wednesday by Atiku Media Office, said under Tinubu, terrorists have become an alternative government, negotiating, collecting ransom, and walking away untouched, while the presidency celebrates their compliance. He described Ononuga's comment as a shameful attempt to whitewash a national tragedy and dress up government incompetence as heroism. 17 governors from the southern region of Nigeria met in Iperu Remo, Ogun State, amid the rising insecurity across the country. The meeting has been held at the private residence of Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun, who also chairs the Southern Governors Forum. Abiodun disclosed this in a post on his X handle. The governor says there will also be a combined engagement with the Southern Traditional Rulers Council to promote cooperation between traditional and political leadership and offer a chance to discuss issues of common regional interest. Wednesday's meeting came 2 days after the Southwest governors met in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. They are decrying the kidnappings, terrorism, and other violent crimes in several parts of the country. The governors converged amid a series of abductions in Kebbi and Niger, where school children were seized by bandits. This as in addition to the kidnapping of worshippers in a church in Kwara. Away from security, the protracted trial of former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje and 7 others was on Wednesday adjourned yet again by Kano State High Court, pushing the hearing of all pending motions to February 3, 2026. Ganduje, his wife Hafsat Umar, and other co-defendants are facing an 11-count charge filed by the Kano State government, bordering on bribery, conspiracy, misappropriation, and diversion of public funds, running into billions of naira. Other defendants in the case include Abubakar Baruwo, Umar Abdullahi Umar, Jabrila Muhammad, Lamash Properties Limited, Safari Textiles Limited, and Lesage General Enterprises Limited. When the matter came up for the hearing of all pending motions, counsel to the state government, Jedediah Apata, told the court that the prosecution was unprepared to proceed. He explained that he had filed a motion for extension of time to respond to the respondent's motion for stay of precedence dated November 19 and filed on November 20, 2025. After hearing submissions, Justice Amina Adamoali granted the prosecution's application for an extension of the time and adjourned the matter. And now talking politics as the National Assembly prepares to vote on a set of constitutional and electoral reforms. Calls are intensifying for a transparent, merit-based process for appointing the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. This was stated as MAB Development Initiative serving as the Southwest partner under the Youth Political Participation Electoral Reform Consortium, coordinated by Kimpak's Development Initiative, joined youth organizations in marking the National Day of Action on Youth-Led Electoral Reforms. According to the Executive Director, MAP Development Initiative, Mayowa Deniro, the current appointment processes of INEC leadership raised concerns about political influence. He noted that a non-partisan mechanism will strengthen public trust in INEC, enhance neutrality, and reduce perceptions of bias. Mr. Deniro also called for the conclusion of all pre-election cases before Election Day and resolution of post-election cases before inauguration, as well as the establishment of the Electoral Offences Commission to deal with violence and vote buying. He added that as a follow-up to the call for action, the MAP Development Initiative will convene a multi-stakeholder town hall on electoral reform next Thursday in Oshogbo, Osun State, to build a unified voice. As political parties intensify preparations for the 2026 Osun State governorship election, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has been urged to select an indigene of Oshogbo to be its flag bearer. At a news conference, the coalition of Oshogbo youth and women's groups claimed that Oshogbo and Oloruda holds the state's largest single voting bloc, accounting for not less than 300,000 registered voters, which is approximately 15% of the total 1.9 million registered voters in Osun State. While addressing journalists, Abdul Rahman Okwade argued that choosing an Oshogbo-born candidate would stimulate the town's full potential political machinery. The groups noted that after Ajibola Bashiru's withdrawal, two aspirants of Oshogbo origin remain in the APC screening process. A senior advocate of Nigeria, Kunle Rashid Adegoke, Kerad, and a United States-based professor of mathematics, Rafiu Durodoye. The coalition clarified that their focus is on the APC because other major political parties have reportedly reserved the governorship tickets for the Western Territory District of Osun State.
Our call to the party screening committee, we urge the party's leadership, that is the APC's leadership, to give thoughtful priority to aspirants of Oshogbo origin as their screening progresses. Number two, to engage both aspirants directly and evaluate their alignment with the goals and aspirations of the stakeholders. And number three, to consider the mobilization commitment that Osogbo is prepared to bring into the election. This support is not peripheral. It is central to the task of winning. And we believe that APC wants to win. And if they want to win, they have to look the way of Osogbo and Osogbo alone for their governorship ticket. Selecting an Osogbo candidate strengthens the party's electoral prospects and affirms Osogbo's long-standing contribution to the APC's successes. Now, in conclusion, we wish to clarify why our demand is directed specifically to the APC at this moment. In assessing the political landscape of Osun State, we took note of a simple but important fact. That is, of the three major political parties in the state, the ADC, African Democratic Congress, and the PDP, People's Democratic Party, have already reserved their governorship tickets to the West Senatorial District of the state, and Osogbo is in the Central Senatorial District. Now, the APC, however, is still in the process of screening its aspirants, and among those aspirants, we have two individuals from Osogbo. This reality shapes the basis of our call. It offers the APC a genuine opportunity to recognize Osogbo's standing within the state and to demonstrate a commitment to balanced representation. We present this position in a spirit of partnership. Our coalition stands ready to work with the APC leadership to support a united, well-organized, and community-rooted campaign. Selecting a candidate from Osogbo is more than a strategic gesture. It is an acknowledgement of Osogbo not only as a reliable voter base, but also as a meaningful stakeholder in the future of Osun State.
Still to come, INEC releases reports on completed online and physical continuous voter registrations showing nationwide total of 2,449,475 registered voters. We'll bring you more of this when we return. Stay with us.